Some of the early indications that we thought definitely reason why we wanted to bring him in was just really not wanting to do any type of reading, not really wanting to attend at school, rubbing his eyes a lot, very fatigued. Everything just seemed very frustrating when it came to reading and learning.
So it was the spring of his third grade year. The results of that is that he, completely bombed his math test in the spring. And when he and I talked about it, he really didn't have an answer for me as to why he couldn't look at the screen. He couldn't articulate what was wrong. He's always said he doesn't love reading. His math scores were pretty good, but in speaking with the teachers and just gathering other information, it became clear to me that around the third grade year is when they start having to read long passages for some of these math tests. And, it's less about pictures or images, and it really requires more reading and concentration and eye focus. And he had no interest in doing that.
I'm Dr. David Mays, optometrist at West Suburban Vision Therapy. We work with children and adults who have vision issues that interfere with the ability to read, learn, comprehend, and even pay attention. I started working in therapy in 1997. I decided to tailor my education in optometry around vision therapy. I am board certified optometrist in vision therapy with the College of Optometrists and Vision Development. I'm also a fellow of the American Academy of Optometry.
In speaking with some friends in the neighborhood, they had suggested I see this incredible ophthalmologist that I couldn't get into at Page Medical. They were able to pull some strings. I got him in the middle of July. They dilated his eyes. They went through all this testing. Long and short of it is they said he's fine. He has no vision issues. He's gone to an optometrist every year. He's never had to wear glasses. And so that's where I didn't understand what was wrong.
A common myth is that 20/20 is perfect vision, when in fact that couldn't be further from the truth.
It just didn't sit well with me. I didn't think it was immaturity. When I would read with him, I really didn't understand. There were times where he would read a sentence and the word like who he would read it, and then that same word would be in the very next sentence, and I would help him maybe answer, read that word who, and then he couldn't even read the word who again.
So over the years, I've seen a lot of children that struggle. They are unable to track accurately. They can't move their eyes across the page. And it often shows up with skipping lines, skipping words, repeating lines, or substituting. Show up as anxiety. Some kids actually feel stupid because they can't do something that they know they should be able to do or that their classmate can do well. Some children just avoid. They don't want to read. They don't want to they don't want to write. And oftentimes, if the visual system isn't working correctly, they're not going to want to do something that they're not good at.
On vacation, visiting my college roommate, and she's a speech pathologist. And I told her about my concerns with Luke, and she asked me if I had ever heard of vision therapy. And she said it's like a sister to speech therapy. And it really hit home. And so I was able to get an appointment and brought him in. And with the few tests that Dr. Mays did immediately, it was evident that his eyes weren't working together. That was it. And so it's actually a happy ending. I don't know why I'm crying, but I guess it was so hard to finally get an answer. And I started, looking at what the website had to say, and there was a TED Talk on there that really hit home. It talked about how people thought they were dumb because they didn't know any better, that they just couldn't read as well as everybody else, but were never had the ability to identify that. And it was just, it was so cathartic to know that we had identified what the problem was. And
being able for my child to, obviously be able to track reading much easier when they're in a classroom, being able to have their eyes go from the board down to their paperwork easier. I think basically just providing Owen with the tools to become more confident in what he is doing. And again, also not being so fatigued and so tired from reading and complaining about it. They don't see him as fatigued and as tired as he was. He could come home after school and do his homework without completely having a meltdown, is where I feel like before he had vision therapy, he went straight to a meltdown.
He's on par with his classmates. He's really done an incredible job. So it is greatly helped his self-esteem.
Where do I start? We have just started reading our first grouping of chapter books, which is really exciting.
And now he, and I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He worked really, really hard, and this is a great success story that he'll get to write about on a college application someday. But
he's definitely made some huge headways. His stamina, his eyes are getting stronger. He's getting more confident in what he's doing. I just think he's building some great skills that he will always be able to use.
His grades are great, and he's proud of himself. He knows he can read.
I think he doesn't rub his eyes as much. He doesn't really complain of headaches anymore. I'm excited for just what the future holds as far as his ability to learn more.
And it's been nothing, it's been nothing but good since then. We were really stringent with the therapy. He did it 5 to 6 times a week, and he's in a great success story.
About vision therapy is it's just another, tools for them to be able to, complete their work, in a proper way and not be so frustrated, and just learn how to read left to right, and, just that, visual confidence, as I would say. Again, I could go on and on just about the impact that vision therapy does have on, my family as a whole. It just really has really changed us, everyone that's been involved. I will say it's hard work. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely is, but when you put in the hard work, you actually really do see a lot of rewards.
Because his MAP test scores in winter had jumped over 50%, which is incredible. And now he's at the average with the district, and we live in an area where they really stress high performing individuals. So it's incredible to see the progress that he's made, as well as he's an athlete, and he's played soccer and baseball, and even with his vision, he had just started to be in a competitive baseball league last year, and he did okay with hitting, but this year, but he's starting to practice, and the connection on the ball, I mean, he's really whacking it hard. He's really that hand-eye coordination, the connection, he gets it now.
As we all know, everyone is in the world, you have to be able to read. And in order to read, you need to be able to track, and you need to be able to look and use your eyes. So to me, I think when you're thinking about investing in something, I think the visual system is one of the most important areas to focus on, just because if you can't see well and if you can't track correctly, you're going to run into a lot of different obstacles.
And that's something that he always really was. He's a big kid. He has the power. It's just nice to see all of it working together for him.
If you suspect that your son or daughter might have a vision problem that is interfering with reading or learning, call our office.